Now, guys, I've prepared a bunch of questions, which I'll put up on screen. So as I showed with the first one, and just bear in mind that our audience here are people like yourselves that are either are wanting to start a business or have just started, and they want to hear stories about the idea, the journey, the challenges, all of these sorts, all of the things that you may have experienced. So we've put together a bunch of questions, and so really building on from what we've just talked about here, bearing in mind our audience, you've got a specific customer profile that you're targeting, which is really good. We always say, yeah, you're looking for demand, but you're looking for demanding customer segments. It's all about identifying these. So maybe you could elaborate on some of the challenges that Black individuals face when seeking hair care in the UK in particular, maybe.
Yeah. Well, something that we notice is that access is quite a big issue, particularly in the UK. I actually made a post last week about this very topic, which is that only 1% of salons in the UK actually know how to cater to Afro hair. And that's despite 1%. 1%. Wow. And that's despite the Black Afro-Caribbean population being 4% in the UK.
Yeah.
Sorry, just to add on, I think there's also another fact sheet found 10% Black people or Black women.
Black women.
Black women spend 10% they make 10% of the expenditure made in hair care in the UK. So despite just only 1% of salons catering to them, they still spend 10%. So there's quite a gap in what there's quite a gap that doesn't meet the demand that exists.
Yeah, exactly. Because Black women are willing to spend on their hair, but the resources are just not there to meet that demand.
That's wonderful in that you've identified this, you've identified your audience as such, you've identified the demand, and that there's challenges.